or screenplays, or like how is?
I only do novels.
Only novels.
For the most part.
For the most part. Now she's coming out.
I've written short stories, and sometimes I get ideas for short stories. I started with short stories, but largely it's very much like when I committed to this as a profession, it was like, well, I'm going to spend most of my meaningful time on writing novels, because everyone tells you to establish a brand, do one thing, and let people.
Not me.
I'm not saying it's the right way.
I know. Everybody yells at me for not doing that.
I mean, again,
it is.
Any advice I give you is just gonna be like, well, if it doesn't work, then don't do it.
Exactly.
It's descriptive, not prescriptive.
Yes, I break a lot of the rules and stuff like that.
But it's like
so you're mainly novels and mainly all horror, or do you do all other genres?
I have this one is my only non-horror novel.
And what makes that non-horror? With the title like Burial.
I mean, it's dark. It's a dark book.
It's so dark.
It's a revenge western set in post-apocalypse.
Nice.
So things are rebuilding.
Yeah.
But I just had the idea, and it struck me like a bolt of lightning, and I loved it. I was so enamored by the idea. I'm like, I don't care if it's not a horror novel. I'm gonna write it.
Sometimes you just got to go with the flow.
And it really is one of my favorite books. Just, most people know me for my horror books. They don't know me for the weird.
You gotta write for you. You gotta write for you. For me, it's a lot of venting.
This is my book for me.
Yeah.
But it is.
Now, are any of your books venting? Like, do you ever kill anybody in your books that is like really an inspiration of somebody that you wanna just?
I mean, I think I don't. This may. I don't. I feel like this is a hot take sometimes. I don't like cool villains. I don't like likable villains. I like villains that you hate. I don't want to make a villain that everyone's like, oh, they're cool.
I feel sorry for them.
I don't know. Yeah. I want irredeemable monsters that when they die, if they die, you're happy about it. And yeah, I channel, I think like most writers, you channel your experiences in your life, you channel the things and in horror books, like what scares me are often things that I often dislike and despise. So you
can write about your real fear when it's real.
They get put into a book, and then they get, smashed in the head with a fire extinguisher or something.
Yeah.
Which is that book? One of the non-werewolf bad guys. That's hit in the head with a fire.
Sometimes you have to.
He's a piece of shit. He deserved it.
No, do you have any like traditional villains that are good guys, such as like a werewolf or you know what I mean, something like that most people would think would be the bad guy, but in your book is a good guy?
I'm trying to think. Usually I do generally ascribe to like a monster is a monster. Not that my heroes are all like white hat baby faces like heroes from old Tom Ford Western. They're usually like, depending on the book, certain books they're different than others. But they usually are trouble themselves or have interesting characters have flaws.
Always. It's the imperfection that makes it real.
Yeah, exactly. It makes them likable.
Yeah.
And you want to root for them because you can see their flaws and your flaws.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the werewolf novel in particular, it's a gang of werewolves. So some of the werewolves are feral and like voracious and just want to eat. Other werewolves are
a little bit more.
Well, they have control, but they're also because they have this access to this power, they want to use that to their advantage and be assholes. But then there are also a couple of werewolves who are maybe not good,
more likable,
but more likable and don't necessarily ascribe to what
everybody else
the
does.
evil ones are doing. And so there's absolutely werewolf infighting in Conquest. And in Death Rattle, it's vampires, but it's still also like there's some political, like within it. I think that's inherently interesting in most stories. It's like people shifting political, not politics like left versus right, but politics like I want to be in control versus this other person wants to be in control.
That's the oldest battle there is, basically.
Exactly. So I think there's always like
the fight for dominance.
Exactly. There's that shifting dynamics even in when like it's just a monster.
Now, speaking of shifting, do you have any with shapeshifters?
I mean, technically the werewolves are.
They shapeshift?
I mean, they're human to, but the werewolves. My werewolves are not like they're not the classical.
They're not the glitter ones?
They're not glitter, but
Okay.
they're also not like, it's not even, they are truly monstrous. Like, they're not symmetrical. Like, they're kind of ugly. They're not pretty. They're
Well,
ugly monsters.
You know,
As human forms.
such is the nature of the beast.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm trying to think. Not really any proper like shifter stuff. Like, I think it's among, like, I would never claim any of this as like a proper shifter story. I think there's maybe a little bit of elements in it.
I mean, there's a lot of different views on what shifters are. That's true. Yeah.
I think because I'm not properly like in the shifter fan base, I hesitate to like.
Is there a specific shifter fan base?
I mean, if you go on Amazon or the parts of Goodreads or parts of TikTok, I think
I could write that.
Yeah, I mean, there's in What Dwells Beneath the Waves. It's kind of a
the sea creature peoples.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a Lovecraftian lore thing where there's fishmen, but they become human-like. They resemble humanity. They hide.
But not like a Little Mermaid situation.
No. Like, it's, again, they are ugly. The fishmen are like disgusting.
So they're not singing songs.
No
Disney songs to sing on that one. Sorry, kids.
I think I hit music.
No musicals.
No musicals.
Do you have any books that rhyme the whole way through?
No.
Or am I the only crazy one?
No, I don't.
That's me. That is my
way
crazy.
too much work.
That's my crazy.
I can't imagine.
Hi.
No, but like that has like people, monsters pretending they're human. I was gonna say, she's right there. Oh no, we're getting a little mermaid.
If you speak it, they will come.
Exactly. So they're like pretending to be human, but it's not like they can turn into anything. They just like they're pretending to be humans, but they're mostly just fish.
That's pretty cool, though.
I'm calling them fish.
It's different. It's different. That's what I like.
It's old, that's old like 20s, 30s weird Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just stealing a little bit.
But it's bringing it back. You know what I mean? It's not the not the glitter vampires Twilight that everybody's I got another spin on this one.
It's
this time they're having a baby.
It's in that book in particular. It's meant to be like they're basically like sleeper agents waiting to be awoken when the time is right, and it happens to be a hurricane's approaching. When the hurricane arrives, that's the.
Now, where are you from originally?
I'm from, up near Ocala, Florida.
So Florida. So you're used to the hurricane season, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So inspiration from real life.
I wrote a fire book. There's a wildfire. I have my ice book, and then my water book. And I'll probably, this is also in the mountains, so I don't know if that counts as stone, but I will eventually probably. Inherently elemental danger. Layers.
What's the air?
That would probably take place in an airplane.
I guess, hurricane would be wind,
There's
right?
wind there.
There you go.
Like if you did just like everyone's trapped on an airplane, you could do one airplane ride.
Like snakes on a plane?
Just not snakes. Could be, could be some other kind of monster. One monster on a plane. That's pretty scary. All it takes is one.
Yeah, as people after 9/11, anybody with a turban, that's all it took. They were all scared.
Exactly. But it's like in any isolated, confined space, all it takes is one scary thing, and everything goes to hell.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll just write that down.
There you go. Yeah.
Monster on airplane story. I don't have time for that.
Black Widow takes over.
Maybe.
Well, anyways, I'm going to make my rounds around. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us for a little bit. Very nice to meet you. And where can people find your stuff?
RobbieDorman.com is my name. It's also on Amazon or
RobbieDorman.com.
Anywhere you buy books, you will find my book.
Nice. And you got social media?
Also Robbie Dorman, literally everywhere.
Awesome.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, what's left of Twitter.
X now.
Yeah. I'm not calling it X.
Threads? Are you on Threads?
I am on Threads.
All right. Cool.
I try and maintain as many of them as possible. It's a lot. It's another job.
It is. Anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you.